with your recap of 7th grade instruction for Wednesday and Thursday, November 11th and 12th. We are continuing with our discussion of body systems and the structures and functions of them. So just to remind you, structure is how something's built. Function is what it does. And so far, we've talked about the circulatory system and the respiratory system. And then today in class, we talked about the skeletal system. So here is your recap if you were absent last week. Here are your warm-up questions. Please go ahead and do them. We assigned you last week an Explore the Skeletal System video with quick questions. Please, if you haven't done that, go back and watch that. Here's a brain pop on the skeletal system that gives you lots of really good information, and another one on joints, which are where two bones come together. We asked you to click and access these prompt notes and make a copy for yourself, rename it, put it in your notes folder, and then complete those notes with the skeletal system PowerPoint presentation. And then we prepared a way for you to review the major bones in the skeletal system. And then at the end of class, we had you do your homework assignment and then check your learning on the skeletal system with click and drag notes, and then a learning check before you transition to muscular system by doing the quick Explore the Muscular System video and questions. So just to recap, the skeletal system is the body system that is comprised of 206 organs because every bone is an organ. It is a group of tissues working together to complete a task. So bones themselves are discrete organs. Each one is considered an organ. So all those 206 organs together make up the skeletal system. And in my classes, students were really surprised to learn of all the functions of the skeletal system. I think most students recognize that without the skeleton would be a bag of mostly water, but the skeleton gives us structure and support so that we can stand up straight. Some people in my classes recognize that the skeleton is also responsible for protecting your inner organs, your vital organs, mainly in your thoracic and abdominal cavities. But a lot of my students were not aware that the skeleton has some other purposes besides that. One of them is to make new blood cells. So there is a layer inside of long bones that's called marrow, and the marrow produces new blood cells. And that's why the inside of the bone is kind of spongy so that that newly produced blood can work its way out into the circulatory system. Another function is to store calcium. So you've heard the old adage, drink your milk, your bones for strong bones. That's so that your bones can store calcium. But the interesting thing is it's not your bones that need the calcium, it's your brain. So your bones are the storage repository for the calcium that the brain needs. And that's another way that your body maintains homeostasis, is it monitors calcium levels in the brain. And when they need more calcium, calcium is released from the bones and transported to the brain by the circulatory system. Another function of the skeletal system is, and then the last thing that your skeletal system does is it helps when your body absorbs vitamin D from radiant energy. That vitamin D is taken up by the bones to allow that absorption of calcium. So and then movement. Don't forget about movement. Without muscles attached to your long bones by tendons, you wouldn't be able to move. You'd be able to stand up straight and everything, but you wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So to recap, the skeletal system has multiple functions, and they are to support and give structure, to protect vital organs, to allow for movement, to produce red blood cells, to absorb calcium, and to help with the uptake of vitamin D so that that calcium can be absorbed. So all of those things, when you think about it, are really, really crucial for the body maintaining homeostasis. So the skeletal system, all the systems help with homeostasis, but the skeletal system helps in several different ways that you might not have been aware of. So don't forget, you're going to be responsible for knowing these bones on an assessment. And don't forget to do your learning check, your homework, and preview the muscular system. Hope this gets you where you need to be.